Oh. Hey, welcome into A Toast to Film, everybody. I'm one of your hosts, Trey.
And I'm one of your hosts, E Bo.
I could not be more excited for the podcast that we're going to talk about today. We have had an absolutely amazing weekend. It really just started the weekend. I mean, it's only Saturday night. But Eddie, why don't you tell the viewers what we've got in store for them?
Guys, let me tell y'all. So we literally just got back from Atlanta. You know, I dropped Trey off. He showered, changed, shaved. You know, he's got the Stephen Strange look going, looking sharp. And we had the day of days yesterday.
Oh, man.
We were at Days of the Dead Atlanta, and we got a early access screening to Screamboat, upcoming Steamboat Willie horror movie. Stay tuned for the exclusive review on that. No spoilers, don't you worry. We also got to meet some important people that there's not words we can say to describe how amazing it was.
Yes.
But we'll do our best.
Yes.
We might rant a little. We're saving that for last.
I'm excited to rant. They're worth it. They're all worth the rant.
You know, Thursday, this is a horror episode, okay? So if you're not a horror fan, leave, but actually don't leave. Just stay here because don't worry, we're not scary.
Yeah.
And we'll be leading off with Trey on Thursday. We saw The Monkey.
Yes.
Osgood Perkins, you know, Let Me In Now himself,
Absolutely.
Long Legs, writer-director, based on Stephen King's short, twin brothers, dad leaves, he has a weird monkey, crank it, it goes, drums. I actually have the popcorn bucket in the room.
Which was also an amazing hit this week.
Dude, I was walking around that popcorn bucket, it was a hit among the con.
It was.
Everyone was like,
everyone was
the monkey.
That and your shirt, man. Your little Bigfoot shirt.
I had a Sasquatch shirt on. Big hit with the ladies.
Yeah.
But we got, you know, the boys and this monkey. Every time it plays drums, it's like a Final Destination, would you say?
Yes.
Because it's like weird things, like one leads to one, and then boom, someone dies horrifically.
Honestly, to me, it's Final Destination, but done more elaborately and better, which is insane to say, right? Because I mean, Final Destination made a franchise of that, but to me, the monkey took the best aspects of Final Destination, but also cut the worst aspects and created something new for themselves, you know, which I think is important.
And I mean, so here's the thing. Okay, Trey knows this about me. Spencer knows this about me. Trey, especially, because my boy gives me a hard time about this. I hate kids in movies.
Yeah, he does.
I just do. And the weird thing is, like, I love kids. Like, you know, I mean, can be childish, so we get along. But something about movies, I hate kids. So the young guy who played the young Howen Bill, Christian Covery, you know, I do like stuff he's been in. He was in Cocaine Bear.
Yep.
He was the little kid that swore. He's the lead in Sweet Tooth.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't like the way the little younger versions were. To be fair, I didn't like Theo James that much either. You know, Mr. Divergent himself.
Well, in your defense, I will say I think anyone could have played that role.
Yeah.
But I love Theo James and always happy to see him in a role. So I think he did a great job. But I do agree, you know, he didn't have to do anything stand out.
Yeah.
For anyone to be able to kind of move into that role.
I was happy Tatiana Maslany, she played the mom, Lois, you know, my girl from Orphan Black, She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I was happy to see her in a theatrical release.
Yeah.
As a, like, leading character. But this movie, it's not really a horror film, to me at least.
No.
To me, it is a gory comedy.
Yes.
If you like gore and you like comedy, I think you're gonna have a good time. Because even me, I liked it the least out of our group. Yeah, but I still had a good time because the comedy really worked for me, and the gore was really like it was elaborate. I mean,
let me tell you,
fence post to the face, like there was harpoon, Tatiana Maslany just like on somebody.
Yeah, the electric shock. You know, The Stampede. I mean,
Stampede
was insane,
electric.
Just surprise after surprise and fun kills. I mean, if you're a bloodfest type of guy, you know, and you like horror comedies, you like, you know, like Eddie said, some good gore, some fun kills. Guys, this movie checks all the boxes.
It checks boxes. For me, the box it doesn't check, though, because, like I said, comedy, sure, there's funny moments. Gore exceeds. Like, very creative kills, very good gore effects. But for me, like, the script is where this movie's lacking.
Ooh.
The script is lacking severely. The dialogue is lacking severely. I don't hate this movie, but it's one where I left it and I was like, you know, I could go a while not watching this again.
Yeah. I was on the other end, and it seems like a bunch of people are. Me and Spencer really love this movie. The people we talked to at the movie theater ended up seeing it, loved it. Ed loved it. You know, I think what's important to note is you go into this movie, do not take it seriously.
Yes.
And not only do not take it seriously, but know that go into this movie just wanting to have a good time, getting that like dopamine mindset where you're like, I want to just have some laughs. I want to just be taken on a fun ride. This is that movie. You know, Eddie is right about I guess the writing. It's nothing groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But see, to me, it didn't have to be. This movie excelled in what it needed to be. It was fun. It was funny. The editing was great on some of like the kills.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they edited it was hilarious. And you're right. This was more centralized. This was written as a comedy, but throwing in some horror elements. And I'll tell you something too, without saying a spoiler. There's a surprise visitor at the end.
Yeah.
Which
was
really
cool.
elevated it.
I'll give it that.
But this was just a fun movie. And, you know, had a tiny twist. I wouldn't say it was a big twist, but it had like maybe like the most minuscule twist where if you didn't think that was where it was going, you're like, okay,
that's fair.
I see where it's going now. That's fine. But and then again, I gotta say this. Osgood Perkins, so excited to see where he imprints his foot in the directing world of movies, because he has given us a fantastic horror movie with long legs. And he's given us a fun horror comedy. And also, we don't get enough good horror comedies like nowadays. So I was really happy to see him do it. And for the viewers out there who hasn't seen it, stay for the end credit scene. Eddie was the one that told me about this. There is a trailer to his next movie, which, staying with horror,
looks really good.
And me, Spencer, and Eddie have been talking about it, all have different theories. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
I think I'm right. I want y'all to know.
Well, do we want to dive into the Cheers rating?
We do. You know, Trey was like, we don't get many good horror comedies, and that stays true with this for me. Because I think some of the comedy is good. Not all of it worked for me, but Trey knows comedy, it's my lowest genre.
Yeah.
Which comedy's subjective, so it works out. The gore, though, incredible. Everything between the gore, I'm just like, yeah, can we hurry up and get a kill? Like, this isn't working for me. But all that being said, I do think there's enough good in here where I'm willing to give it a 3.3 out of 5 cheers.
Okay, that's solid.
You know, a little over 60%.
Yeah.
So by Rotten Tomatoes standards, passing.
Still passing on the Rotten Tomatoes scale, which I think is important. This movie on Rotten Tomatoes, both in the Bs, I think it was like 85 critic, 82 audience. My review is also going to stay in the Bs. I think it was very accurate. I'm giving this movie a 4 out of 5 cheers.
There you go. 80%.
And Spencer gave it a 4.3 out of 5. So we had a really fun time with this. And I think another thing for me, and it might even help you, is this is going to be a fun replay value for me, where it's a movie that you can have in the background during Halloween. You don't have to watch it, but it can just be in the
That's fair.
background.
It'd be a good like party movie. Just put it in the background
because you're getting a lot of kills, you're getting some laughs. So I mean, you get a little bit.
You don't need the dialogue in between.
Not really.
Just need the kills. But real quick, before we get into the important things, we had to get that out of the way. You know, big release of the weekend.
Yeah.
Before we get into our main event review and our discussion about what happened at Days of the Dead, we are toasting. So the writer-director of this next film, Stephen Lamorte, I was talking with him about what I should toast with. And he said Foster's because, you know, they use the big boys, like the tall boys of Foster's. Because, I mean, those things, you throw it at somebody, you could kill somebody. They're
Absolutely,
so big.
yeah. Love Foster's.
We've done one this episode. We did The Dry with Eric Bana.
That's right.
I stopped at the Lee's package store by my house. They were sold out.
Of course.
They literally, like, it was empty. I asked. They were out of stock. So, right next to the empty spot, I got us some nice sewer water, some Heineken, a Heineken tall boy, you know, wonderful. And, you know, it works because it's like, you know, you'd find this in the trash where Steamboat Willie's hanging out.
Well, and it's around the same vein as a Foster's, you know, it's kind of the light beer standard for its country, you know? So I enjoy Heineken. It's good for what it is, you know.
I mean, I will say, if you're trying to just get, you know, something happening, this big hunker was only like $3.
That's what I'm saying. Gets the job done.
There you go.
And I love the countries for that.
But Trey, we stayed up Friday night till 11 p.m.
Yep.
For an exclusive, the third only screening so far for this film, Screamboat.
Yep.
So Steamboat Willie entered public domain, and Stephen Lamorte, who did the mean one, Grinch horror movie, he made us yet again David Howard Thornton as a character that doesn't talk.
Yep.
Causing mayhem. This time, little bitty Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
Trey, this movie experience we had.
Oh, man.
I want y'all to think this, okay? I want you to think. 11 p.m. at night. After standing in line, talking, vendors, traveling.
Yeah.
11 p.m. at night. Think of a huge ballroom in a hotel. Chairs for days. Every seat, button seat. The cast of the movie. You know, David Howard Thornton, Allison Piddle, Amy Schumacher, Kylie Heyman, just to name a few. To our right.
Oh, man.
Everyone ready. Little bitty screen.
Yeah.
Like this thing, little bitty.
Yeah.
And we are having the time of our lives.
It is single-handedly, and I can say this with confidence. I told A that night, that was the best movie going experience I've ever had. And we've seen movies on opening night like Endgame, you know, No Way Home, which, you know, for people in their 30s, that's nostalgia city. And to me, I've never experienced anything quite like this.
Yeah, it was special, man.
You're in a packed crowd. Yeah. Everyone there wants to be there. They're excited to see this movie. All horror lovers. So we know we're just watching it with clones of ourselves, essentially. And we're experiencing it with the actors and directors. That's a first for me.
Yeah.
And the best experience, because let me tell you, just like Eddie said, these people are amazing.
They are. We'll get into that definitely soon. But, you know, I had met Stephen Lamorte and his wife, Amy Schumacher. She's in this as Amber the EMT. She was Mary McBean in the mean one. She's also a producer of Screamboat.
Yeah.
And I was talking to them, you know, about the mean one and what I'm hoping for Screamboat. I went to the Q&A, which was great.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, they're excited about this. They're talking about how they've worked with each other. You know, no spoiler questions, but just more like them telling stories from set about, you know, they just are coming together to make something because they want to, because they believe in it. And I mean, you're making a movie about a killer, you know, Steamboat Willie, you know, the old little black and white cartoon. And so David Howard Thornton, because no one's going to let this man talk, Poor guy.
I know.
Incredible voice actor. No one's gonna let him talk.
That's hilarious.
Oh, Art the Clown. But in this, they had to do a lot of forced perspective to make him small.
Yeah.
Plus, they had like puppets. They had an animatronic.
Oh, so cool.
But they realized too late the animatronic couldn't walk on water.
Oh.
So it like shorted.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they had like a little robot Willie.
Okay.
And, summarize this movie. Allison Piddle. I'm sorry. I'm bad with words. People know this. She plays Selena. She was from Stream.
Yeah.
She's our lead girl. And she's trying to, she's just trying to go home. She's trying to avoid these girls we'll get into in a second. And she gets on the boat. And wouldn't you know it, unearthed, portal open, basically. Basically, a dumpster was opened.
Yeah.
And out comes the maniacal 3-foot tall Steamboat Willie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who he makes little noises like, or, whistles, big whistler, whistling different songs. Makes little like,
yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
Little, like, almost like another mouse you might know that's not in public domain, so we're not going to say his name. But Trey, how much fun did you have with this movie?
This was a 5-star experience. Yeah. This was a 5 out of 5 stars. I caught myself, I was smiling the whole time. I was giddy and smiling the whole time. And I caught myself just looking around the crowd. Did you do that a couple times?
No, I did.
Where you just would take your eyes off the screen, because I would look around the crowd, look to the right of me, and there's the entire acting cast. And I'm just looking around. I'm like, I can't believe I'm a part of this right now. I mean, I felt honored to be there, honestly, and get an early releasing and experience it with the people that put their blood, sweat, and tears in this movie.
Literally.
This, let me tell you, this was a 5-star experience. Like I said, the crew was fantastic. The actors and actresses, every single one of them was so sweet and kind. Yeah. It was honestly a true privilege to get to meet them.
It was.
And like you said, Allison Piddle, sweet as can be. We got to meet her at, the stand in the vendor section. Yep. And she was great. You got a picture with her.
I did.
She did a great job in the movie. But I gotta say, Steven, hats off to you. You wrote a phenomenal movie. One, you knew exactly what your vision was and what you wanted to get out on screen. And I need more of it, because this was just a fun ride. I like I said, I was giddy from ear to ear, smiling, and I was laughing so much. The whole crowd was laughing.
And it helped. So in the mean one, he had like, a narrator doing Dr. Seuss puns. Yeah. And he has visual gags. Like there's a fish bowl that had a red fish, blue fish.
Oh, yeah.
One fish, two fish.
Absolutely.
And he's really good at making those kind of jokes. And in this, let me tell you.
Oh, wow. It was great.
If you took a shot every time a visual, if you did it for lines, you wouldn't even make it halfway through the movie. Yeah. Like every time they say something from a movie that's like a pun, you would not make it to halfway through this movie. Right. But just the visuals, like you're going to just, please don't drive if you do this game while watching it. But Trey, we got to get into something big. So there's a lot of odes to New York in this, like the Naked Cowboy. Yeah. But there's, like we said, a lot of Disney puns, a lot of Disney lines, a lot of Disney visuals. Yes. There's Disney, references. And one big one is some girls, and one of them, it's their birthday. Yeah. And that's our girl Kaylee Hyman as Cindy. She's got her squad with her. She was Brooke in the Terrifier films. Yeah. Every time they popped up, Kaylee Hyman is doing the funniest job. Yeah. Because she just pops up. She's just this drunk, egotistical, New Yorker girl. Yeah. Yeah. And every time she would pop up and you just hear, "We're here," I would die laughing, because her and her squad, they're just so goofy. Oh, yeah.
Well, I can't wait to follow her career.
Yeah.
You know, Kaylee, if you happen to be listening to this, you are one of our favorites. I mean, we got to meet you yesterday. You were so sweet.
She passed the rice.
Passed the rice. And, you know, it's crazy because it's so, you know, I can tell you she's a great actress because the person you meet, so sweet, very outgoing, easy to talk to, but her characters are just
like Brooke.
Yes.
So nasty. And then this
so
one,
different.
She's just this, you know, floozy, basically.
And let me tell you, I love all three of the characters. I love Kaylee's real life character.
Yeah.
I love Brooke, and I love the character she plays
Cindy.
in Screamboat.
Yeah, Cindy and her squad, great.
Man.
I mean, let's just say it. David Howard Thornton.
Oh God, love him.
You believe he almost turns into like a gremlin.
He does.
Because he's like walking around like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, terrorizing people. The kills, very creative, and some of them very funny.
Oh yeah.
You know, won't go into details on that, but this movie, it gives me hope because you have so many funny things in this, but then you have the gore and you have like a couple little jump scares, and he had this beautiful animated sequence that I did not see coming, where I was like,
I was shocked.
Who drew this? This is amazing.
Yeah, really good.
And all this, remember, all this is at 11 at night.
Yeah.
And we are honed in, you know, we're dog tired, but we're just in such a happy place.
Yeah.
Enjoying this, laughing to this, you know, jumping for the kill, shouting for, you know, people trying to survive this evil little rodent. And I think this movie, you got to check out. When it comes to theaters, as soon as it goes live, get you a ticket. Go to this, whether it's full release, Fathom events, whatever it is, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we saw it on this little screen, and I don't know about your seat, but my seat, there was this giant dude in the front row.
I certainly had to go left to right a couple times.
He was so tall, so I missed out on like the full screen. I want to see full screen, baby.
Oh, I still had such a great experience. And also, I want, you know, you've already shouted out, but Amy Shoemaker, you know, producer and actress. And let me tell you, hats off to you as well, because I know, you know, it was a team effort with you and your husband, Steven. You guys knocked out the park, and also great job in the movie. I loved everyone. You know, it was just a fun experience.
It's one of those things where it's like, there's no character I would want taken out.
None. Everyone did a great job. I mean, you know, even the dirt bags of the movie, we were like, they played it perfectly.
Yeah,
you know?
Even a certain type of adult.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. God, it was great.
And that'll make sense.
And some genuine surprises, some genuine comedic surprises.
Some great visual gags I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
He sneaks in these lines that you don't see coming.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, it's just funny seeing David Howard Thornton running around, because you can only imagine, because he's such a nice guy, like how he is on set. And
great guy.
Let me tell you, can we just put this man in a movie where he tap dances? Because, I mean, Art tap dances, Steamboat Willie tap dances. Trey, Screamboat, I think, is a wonderful film. And like you said, I don't know if that like screening can be topped.
It can't. I don't think so. And I feel confident saying that it's the best watching, you know, a best viewing experience I've ever had. And I've just been on a high since last night. And just so great meeting everybody and seeing this passion project put to life. We need more of this. There's not enough horror comedies out there, and this was up there with some of our favorites, like Tucker and Dale.
This works more for me than The Monkey did.
Me too.
Because I feel The Monkey like had ebbs and flows with its theming.
Yeah.
And with this, I feel like the theming stays constant, and it's just a good mix of, hey, we're going to brutally kill some folks.
Yeah.
And we're also going to, you know, sneak a little line in there.
Yeah.
Or David's going to do a little ha.
Well, and I think this is the difference between this and The Monkey. I think this movie was all comedy, had some great, you know, fun, bloody horror moments, but like on a percentage scale, this is more like 80% comedy, where The Monkey was more like 65.
Yeah.
So I think both movies had a great job of the tone and the direction. Like The Monkey did the same for me. It just was a little less comedy.
Yeah.
So on a comedy standpoint, this movie worked better
Yeah.
for me. And really, you know, both movies with The Monkey were quick movies. You know,
Mhm.
it's like hour 20. It was
Mhm.
lean and mean, hour 30. But God, this experience couldn't be topped. And even without that, we take that out. This movie was just a really good movie.
Mhm.
Me and Eddie both said we really hope a physical release because we want to add it to our collection.
Steven, if you're watching this or listening to this, we need,
man.
I want a steelbook because I have the mean one steelbook.
Yeah.
I want a steelbook of this, but I will settle for a Blu-ray.
I mean, I'll sell for anything. A DVD even. I just want it in the
let's
collection.
Not do DVD. Come on now. at least give us the Blu-ray.
I need it in the collection. This was great.
We need it in the collection, and we need a theater release.
Yeah.
So, Trey, the movie where we have a 3-foot mouse.
Yeah.
From the black and white era,
mm-hmm.
coming out of a chamber, terrorizing, killing people on a boat.
Yep.
Some of our favorite actresses on there. What would you rate this movie?
I've thought about this today because I knew we were doing this pod and I wanted to get my thoughts together. This movie is a floor of a 4.5 for me.
Yeah, same.
I give it a floor because it's not going under an A.
Yeah.
Out of 5 stars, it's a 4.5 for me. I can't wait to watch it again. That ranking I see can only go up, but this was a 4.5 against big budget movies like The Monkey that I also loved, that I put at a 4. So Steven, Amy, keep doing what y'all are doing. It was a great job. We had a blast with it and can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Dude, so I like the way you put that, the floor, because that's something I use sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to steal it from you because I was working on my answer and I was like, I know it's at least a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And I was going through my head and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I give it also a floor 4.5 because I think on a big screen, without, tall dude's head in the way, I think it's only going to amplify this. And, this movie is actually a good movie, which, not trying to make this sound like a sneak diss, but
no,
it surprised me the quality.
Yeah.
The acting, the, cinematography, the way they made, because David Howard Thornton's not this tall,
right? And
the way they worked that with forced perspective and puppets and everything, and because we have some other like horror parodies of Public Domain, and those I enjoy them for what they are, but I would never tell anybody they're a good movie. If you got some blood and then some honey, like, I'm not going to tell you
it's groundbreaking.
I enjoy it, but it's not a good movie.
Right.
This, though, Screamboat, is a good movie.
Great
It's
movie.
A quality film, wonderful team behind it. Check it out in theaters as soon as it goes live. Get tickets, because during the Q&A, we found out something interesting. I don't know if I told you this. So, like, when they do these smaller movies, compared to these huge budget stuff, when they do these smaller movies, like, it's releasing on a Thursday, right? Well, if pre-sales only are for like 3 tickets on Friday, they might can it after Friday and quit showing it.
Okay.
Because they base the theater run for these types of films on pre-sales.
Oh, wow. I did not know
they didn't know. I didn't know. When they told me that, I was like, oh my God. Like, how can you expect, so many people go to theater
and get the ticket that day?
Yeah. Even Trey, who has A-list.
He
goes and gets it at the theater.
And I download it at the theater, know. But now that I know that, I'll do it ahead of time. Days ahead of time.
I am going to get a Screamboat. Like we said, we saw it. And I need to see it again. I want to see it.
So
I want to give it justice.
Yeah.
Full screen, good audio, all that. Screamboat, check it out. Like you said, we had the weekend of weekends.
Incredible.
I've been to 8 Days of Dead. Trey, how many have you been to?
I think this is my 5th one.
5. Yeah. I've been to 3 Dragon Cons. You've been to a couple other cons.
I've been to MomoCon.
Trey, would it be fair to say our Friday at Days of the Dead is the best experience we have ever had?
Hands down.
At a convention.
It's not even close. And I'll tell you, the next closest thing is MomoCon, because that was really fun. I'm an anime guy, so it was really cool to see all the cosplays, and it was big. So it was a step up from, Days of the Dead. But with a con that's 40,000 people like MomoCon to a con of Days of the Dead, which is normally like 5,000, 10 if you're maxed, you know. This was the best con experience I've ever had. Not even close.
Our Friday. So, we get there, we check into the hotel, and we go down. First of all, shout out to the Days of the Dead team.
Oh, yeah.
Bill, all them, because the thing is, they hire so many great people, like from the people checking your badges at the door to the people who are checking you in at will call.
Yeah.
That line.
Oh, yeah.
So long.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Maybe
5 minute wait. 5 minute wait.
They're just boom, 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 boom. You get it. And you.
Absolutely.
And then you get to the merch.
Yeah.
We got some cool merch. We got some physical movies.
Mm-hmm.
Trey got some amazing posters. I'm going to be posting a picture.
You too,
I'll be posting an important one.
Yeah.
And this was all topped off. So, we saw Screamboat.
Yeah.
That was part of it. I went to the Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
And what did it, though? We have always said we love the Terrifier franchise. Yes. Trey, after Friday, I think we can both agree Terrifier is our favorite franchise.
It is. It is.
It is past everything else.
And you know this about me, the time the second one released 2 years ago, my love for Terrifier was up here.
Yeah.
Probably out of all of our friend group. Mm-hmm. I just love the Terrifier. And you have just gradually come to love it more and more. Yeah. Like we'll watch it and you're like, man, this is a good movie and a good film. And then 3 is just so fun. But God, meeting the cast and crew.
So this is where we gush over because I'm telling y'all, I've, like I said, 8 Days of the Dead, 3 Dragon Cons, 5 Days of the Dead, plus MomoCon. When I tell y'all, these 5 people, hands down, unquestioned, nicest people I've ever met.
They are. I want nothing but the best success for these people, and I'm so excited to watch their career. They are, first off, any director that has them is lucky to have them. Yeah, because these people are gems. I mean, they talk to you like you've been friends with them for years and years.
Let's deep dive. Okay. So we're gonna go the L.
Yeah, let's do the L.
Because they were in a L.
And we'll do quick fires. We'll each give them like a 2-minute run.
Yeah. So first up, longest line we got in.
Yeah.
Was the man himself, Art the Clown, David Howard Thornton. So to preface, Trey had ordered some posters. Yeah. The place he ordered from screwed him over. So he needed posters. He found them at the convention. Wonderful artist. Made this beautiful poster for Terrifier 2. Yeah. Skulls with blue coming out of them. Yeah. Really good looking. I'll have the picture accompanying this. Yeah. And then I got my friend Cody, manager over at our local theater. Yeah. He got me the Christmas re-release. Yeah. Of Terrifier 3. Yep. So I had that, and I had the Little Pale Girl Funko. Yes. So I think what was so cool is, so David Howard Thornton, we're waiting in line, and we get capped. Yeah. The gentleman who's, there, he's like, these 2 are the end. Yeah. Because David's, gotta go to dinner. Right. And we were both like froze because we were like, wait, is the cap behind us or in front of us? Yeah. And he had his hand behind us, and we were like, we lucked out. So we were literally going to be the last 2 people he saw before he left, because they weren't sure, like, okay, was he going to go eat and come back? Was he done for the day? And then you get up to him. Yeah. Buddy, you want to tell?
Well, you know what? Absolutely. We'll do, like I said, we'll do some quick fires
Yeah.
on each one. So me jumping in here, I will say that David Howard Thornton was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. I've never gotten an autograph from anybody,
Yeah.
but I'm such a fan of Terrifier that me and Eddie said we got to go and meet him. So he was the very first person I've ever gotten an autograph from, and he has made that experience so wonderful. Being the first guy, he was so polite, so nice, greets you with a smile, is happy to talk about whatever, sign whatever for you, write it, personalize it. You just don't get that with everyone.
You really don't. Because, I mean, I've met a lot of people. Sometimes they'll put your name. That's just an autograph. But he has big, beautiful autograph. And he personalized both of ours.
Yeah.
And he themed it to the poster.
Yeah.
Mine was a Christmas poster, so it was a Christmas.
Yeah.
Yours was like, slasher. So it had that. And he's talking to you, and then I got a picture with him. I'm a big picture guy.
Yeah.
And for every single person, he had this little bitty hat. He put the hat on. He picked up the little horn.
Amazing.
And he gave you the experience of art without him being art.
Yeah, exactly. Incredible. We can't say enough good things about David Howard Thornton. We're excited to follow your career.
Let this man talk.
Guy's great.
During the Q&A, he did like a Mickey Mouse voice. He did a Willy Wonka voice.
Yeah.
He did a Joker voice.
Yeah.
He did a deep voice. He did a high pitch voice.
Yeah.
Like, the dude is so talented.
So talented.
We know visually.
Yeah.
He can do so much with his face and movement, but then like his voice, like,
man, incredible.
Look, get in on the ground floor while you can. Before this man is the next leading man.
Oh, 100%. But okay, so quick fire 2-minute rounds.
2 minutes up.
So now let's roll into Damien Leone.
So now Damien Leone, writer director of the Terrifier franchise and the previous ones.
Yes.
When it was Mike Giallo.
Mm-hmm.
Trey, what did you think?
Honestly, I really was gushing the most talking to him because Damien is such an incredible guy, so nice, so professional. And I was so excited to talk to him. He talked just like David Howard Thornton. This whole team just talks to you like they're friends of yours. And I was able to ask him, what's your favorite? And he said, hey, look, that's my question for you guys. It's like, I'm excited to hear what y'all think. And I told him, man, the argument could be made that his films get better and better. And that is a rarity nowadays for franchise movies,
Well, with each one, he gets a higher budget.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going all the way back to he made a short.
Yeah.
And then he made All Hallows Eve. And then we got Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3. And each time bigger budget, but also bigger kills, more complex story elements. And it was so cool, and I was just, when I talked to him, I was just like, I know you said Terrifier 4 is the last of this franchise.
Yeah.
But I said, no matter what, I need you to keep working because the creativity, the kills, but not only that, but these wonderful people that you are getting out there.
Yeah.
I was like, because he was the last person we met of the 5.
Yes.
But I was like, man, you don't understand. Like, these are the nicest people I've ever met.
And I just want to bounce off this real quick. This is a testament to Damien.
Yeah.
Because these people, are new into the industry. So Damien, hats off to you for having the talent eye to surround yourselves with people have a promising future, and you surround yourself with talent, but you created it for them. Yeah. So hats off to you, and I'm excited. Can't wait to see the next one.
Yeah. So next up, we have the little pale girl.
Yep.
Amelie McLean.
Yep.
She was so nice.
So sweet.
She had her mom there with her.
Yep.
I joked with her mom a little because I was like, you're definitely either older sister or mom because I can see the protective aura.
They looked very similar. No doubt about it. You knew they were related.
And, I had her sign her Funko for the 1 millionth time.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky number 1 million. Mm-hmm. I felt proud about that. Nice red because I had a Terrifier 3 poster, so I didn't feel right getting her to sign that when she was in 2.
Right.
So I was like, I'm getting you a Funko.
Yeah. I'm so glad you
Dude,
did.
you have the Terrifier 2 poster. So everybody we mentioned, you got on one poster.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she was so polite, and her flight was delayed. So she got there super late, but she was still so accommodating, trying to get every person in, tell them. And I asked the mom, I was like, when you first saw your daughter, because Terrifier 2 was what, now 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
Terrifier 2?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was about 3 years ago.
I always think it's like
Terrifier 1, though, was.
Okay, maybe that's where the disconnect
Terrifier
is.
1 was like 2016, so almost 10 years ago.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
But a few years ago, so she's smaller.
Yeah, she's definitely grown.
And I was like, what did you think the first time you saw your daughter in the full, makeup, the hair to the side, the evil look?
Yeah.
And she was like, it was a lot. I mean, like my daughter, when I looked at her, I was like, my daughter is gone. Where's my baby?
Yeah.
But then she said the coolest thing where she was like, Damien made us feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
And was so nice and so professional that I just accepted it because I was like, okay, he's a good man. He knows what he's doing.
100%.
And dude, can't say enough. You talk about bright futures. I mean, she's like, little bitty thing. Yeah. So she's got plenty of years to only get better.
She was incredible. I'm so excited we got to meet her. She was one of my absolute favorite things about Terrified 2. The pale girl gave Art this alter ego and gave him an extra dimension that we haven't seen.
And it was a lot of fun. Literally gave way to what we would get from Vicky in the third one.
I completely agree. It's just a pleasure to meet her, and also so excited to see her career grow.
Next up, though, Cindy, the birthday princess herself.
My God.
Brooke from Terrifier 2 and 3, Kaylee Hyman.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
She was one of the, I mean, I loved her character
in
2, so I could not wait to meet her. She just blew my expectation out of the water.
She did.
She was the sweetest person and made me feel so comfortable. Like I said, I've never gotten autographs before, and I had David Howard Thornton and her as my first 2.
Yeah, because she was our second.
And she just made me feel so welcoming. She cut my nerves. I was very nervous to talk to her, and just like David Howard Thornton, she was so sweet. I'm blown away by it, and it just makes me love the movies more because of their character, man.
Yeah.
They're just so great.
And we're talking about like the character of the person.
Yes.
The grade of the person is so good. And it's the little things. Like, I had my poster and I was like, hey, could you sign this to Eddie and put "pass the rice," but like make the letters bigger, like you're yelling it?
Yeah.
And she was like, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
And then
she's so good.
I told her, I said, when we were watching in theaters, like, and you hear "pass the rice," we're like, is somebody in this theater saying it? Because you can't tell. And then you're like, and I told her, I was like, and then you pop up on the screen, you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh God is right. And just so funny. And like we said, then, she's in Screamboat.
Yes.
And during the Q&A, you got to hear stuff.
Oh,
I think she is, it's not when she blows up.
Yeah.
It's, how soon. We talking like a month from now, 2 months from now, but she has got not only, like Trey said, the character of in person, but she has the character ability on screen.
She does. Caleb, we love you. I mean, you were just such a pleasure to meet. You were we traveled just to see all y'all from the Terrifier team. We would have doubled the drive to meet you guys with how much of a pleasure it was. So very excited for her future as well.
And dude, this is just how it worked out. I'm going to say this, no disrespect to y'all, because like I said, David Howard Thornton, Damien Leone, Amelie McLean, who I kept calling Amelia till I heard somebody say it.
Kaylee Hyman.
And Kaylee Hyman, y'all are all incredible.
Oh my
God. Y'all, if I had just met y'all 4, I would have had the greatest day of my life.
Yeah.
But then we get to Sam Scafidi.
Yeah.
Who played Vicky. Dude. So I found out something that she is 2 days older than me.
Yeah.
We almost share the same birthday. So I'm like, oh, well, obviously she's amazing. I mean, look at me.
Absolutely.
Obviously, people March 89, we're
good apples,
But we wait in line. Once again, we get capped. But it was funny because she tried to cap between us and have Trey go and not me. And I was like, well, I'm with him. Can I slide in too? And she's like, oh, well, he's with you. So yeah, we'll get him too. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And because for her, she had to go to professional photo ops.
Yeah.
And those are on a set schedule.
Yeah.
So like, you got to get out.
Yeah.
She took the most amount of time talking to people of anyone I've seen.
She was shaking everybody's hands. It was a personal thank you from her to every fan. You could tell how much she does it for the fans and how much she appreciates every person that was there to support her.
Dude, and like you get Vicky on screen. Nasty, doing nasty things.
Also love Vicky.
Like voice, all that. And then we talked about small things. I've gone to a lot of conventions. Seeing someone shake the hand of every person, like somebody comes up to her table, she's like, hey, how are you? And she's like, and you're like, oh, hey, I'm Trey. And she's like, well, I'm Sam. Nice to meet you. Oh, never in my life do I think I'll ever see another person shake every single, even like say Trey and Spencer were with me, but only I was meeting her. Right. She still shook the other people's hands. Yeah. Because like there was that couple with the newborn baby in front of us. Yeah. And she shook like the parents' hands too. Yeah. And it's the little things. And then she's so nice. And when she's signing, she's joking with you. And, she's got this great signature. And then, I got a picture with her. And Trey, just paid for the autograph. Yeah. But she was like, do you want to get in here?
Yeah. She was like, come on in. And I felt so bad. I was like, well, I would love to, but let me at least pay you, And
she's like, no.
And I couldn't believe it. She made everyone feel like we were friends for years. I mean, she was incredible.
So chill.
Yeah.
Such a delight. Oh, and man, dude, you want to talk about like, I need people to book Samantha Scafidi. Yeah. I need her to be in everything because she's got the talent.
She does.
Because like Vicky, if you just watched Vicky and then I just randomly had you meet like Sam, you'd be like, oh dude, why'd you want her autograph? I'm like, do you remember that movie I showed you last night with Vicky? Yeah. You're like, oh yeah. Like there's no way you'd believe me.
No way.
Because she's just such a great person. Everybody.
Oh my God.
Everyone from the Terrifier.
Everyone.
The greatest people. People from Screamboat. The greatest people.
And we will say, I have no problem saying this, Terrifier is my favorite horror franchise. And we grew up in horror. Yeah. I mean, we're talking Halloween, Screams, which Screams was always our favorite.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Street.
Saw, Child's Play. We could sit here all day, but
Terrifier and that cast, it's got that has a special place in my heart now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm genuine from meeting those five.
Yeah.
The vendors to the Screamboat Q&A, Screamboat screening. It just gave me such warmth. Yeah. That we have all these wonderful people creating things like the Terrifier films, creating things like Screamboat. Yeah. And dude, I've never been happier to be a fan of horror.
Yeah. I completely agree. Just on an all-time, just dopamine high. Yeah. Meeting all of them and such a wonderful experience. Yeah. Thank you guys for making it for us in the weekend.
Shout out to Days of the Dead.
Yeah. Shout out to Days of the Dead. Y'all made our experience.
Bill's the man.
Oh yeah. So, but man, I guess just on ending notes here. Yeah. We're very excited for the future directors and the new movies to come with Terrifier 4 and Steven's next project after Screamboat.
I mean, maybe Screamboat 2 could be a possibility.
It's a possibility. You never know.
Maybe, we can get this Willy Wonka horror movie that we really want. But, Stephen Lamorte, Damien Leone, they're getting the right people out there. Just talented people who are actually good people.
And it's nice to see the right people getting famous.
Yeah. It's nice. We need to make these kind of people household names.
I agree.
But guys, we hope you enjoyed us gushing over our wonderful weekend of horror, starting with the monkey, then to our Friday, which core memory.
Yeah.
Top memory for sure.
Yeah.
And then us driving back today. And if you want to let us know what you think about any of these things, maybe you like the monkey.
Yeah.
Maybe you think you're a bigger Terrifier fan than us. Well, guess what? You're not. How dare you?
Right.
Maybe you also want to know more about Screamboat.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there are so many ways you can do it, but let me tell you the best ways. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok, A Toast to Film, all one word.
Yep.
Check us out on Twitter at film_toast, or check us out on beautiful YouTube. You can see my Days of the Dead hat, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Buddy. You know, I need to get me a Terrifier one or a Screamboat.
I think it's time.
You know, get little David just, you know.
I think it's time, buddy.
But we just wish you a good night.
Good viewing, everyone.